7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2.
1.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Hi, welcome back to 12 Rounds of Adrenaline with Tony the Tiger Lopez. And we're here with Donnie.
The master, puppet master. They call me the puppet master. Everyone knows me by the puppet master. They call me that when I was in prison. I was in the whole making pit, trying to bring people to God, and they like, "You're a puppet master. You're trying to talk all this godly stuff up in this."
Okay.
I became soft in prison before I came home. I went in hard. You know how people get harder.
Yeah.
I like softened myself up. So
that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
That's why.
But anyway, welcome back to 12 Rounds of Adrenaline. It's Monday. He made it back from his long across-country vacation. We kept in contact. We did make it back to our Monday show. We appreciate all the support we're getting from you guys. I'm watching everything. I'm watching every city. Thank you, Kansas City. Thank you, Seattle, Washington. And thank you, Washington, D.C. is your #1 supporter right now.
Oh, right on.
So
Appreciate
we're on the East Coast.
Thank you all.
I wanted to touch bases on something today. You predicted the fight, the fight of the century, they say, which it wasn't the fight of the century. He predicted it was going to be a knockout 6th or 7th round. That happened. I said 5th round. I look back and he was right when you said 6th or 7th. I said 5th round. I don't think the kid was ready. Maybe if he would have fought him a year from now and had a couple tune-up fights before that, and his trainer showed him how to fight the southpaw. His mistake from round 1, he was too anxious and he kept his foot inside of the realm of Tank Davis. What do you think about that?
I mean, I was actually watching. I didn't actually watch the fight, but I watched the reruns of it, right? So, and when I first started watching, I'm going, oh, I didn't know Tank Davis was southpaw. First thing I noticed, I'm going, oh, I didn't know this. And then so I think, okay, let's see what he does. Gets in. Tank Davis's lead right leg is on the inside of Garcia's left leg, and I'm going, okay. That already tells me that Garcia does not fight southpaw. Straight off the top. When you're fighting a southpaw of that category, meaning a big fight, Tank Davis, pay-per-view around the world. Who doesn't know he's not a southpaw besides me? But then again, I'm not fighting him. You know, if I was fighting him, I know he was southpaw. I know I got trained for a southpaw. I know I'm going to fight a southpaw. So guess what? I'm walking in and I'm going to fight for position during the fight. And whether Tank knows or not, but I'm going to fight for position. And normally they don't know because they're so used to right-handers not knowing how to fight southpaws. So when they do run into someone that knows how to fight a southpaw, without realizing it, their foot's on the inside. And the right-handers is on the outside. We're supposed to.
And he's in line with his straight left.
Of his straight right.
His straight left.
Right.
So I want to touch on a couple things. The fight happened and everything. How would have you prepared for a fight of that magnitude? Because I look back at your fights, and your fights were way more exciting. That was like in this era, that was like a big old fight building up. But then you're disappointed when you watch it because it's like all this build up, and you see all these millions in promotions and all these trainers getting these millions, and it's like the fight wasn't exciting to me. It's like Tank was waiting very patient, and Garcia got very impatient in the second round where he got dropped. And I was like, this fight was not exciting to me. I knew the outcome of it. I did make a bet, $1,500 bet. I still ain't got paid. Troy still ain't paid. Not Troy we know.
Oh, no.
Troy Hodges. Yeah, I can do all that. However, the fights in the 80s and 90s were just way more exciting to me, man. Maybe because I was there in person, but even when I watched them on TV, Leonard Hagler, they was wars. This was like a chess game, and the chess player won.
Well, to me, I watched the first round. Here's the difference between how I feel the difference between fighting in the 80s and 90s to after 2000 and after. I'm gonna kick your butt. I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna. And all fighters did it through the 60s. But the difference is, after 2000, before 2000, when the first bell rang, we went to town. It was time to fight. It was time to fight. My first fight with lockers. And we were both saying, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna beat you up." Blah 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 blah. Bell rang. Guess what? We went to war. And because that's what you're supposed to do. Now, I don't know. I think today, because of there's more TV, it's worldwide now. People talk smack so they don't look bad. Instead of talking smack, like for one, you're right. Now I don't really watch a lot of boxing today because I don't like it anymore. It's not. I like good fights. I don't like. Anyways, I watch some of it, not a lot of it anymore. But anyways, I didn't know Tank Davis was a southpaw. It never dawned on me. But because I'm not fighting, because if I was, I'd know.
Yeah.
And I was trained for a southpaw for that fight. Obviously, Garcia must not have knew either.
He didn't look that way.
Because he looked like he didn't know how to do the southpaw.
And that falls on his trainer.
Yeah.
In his camp.
So if watch, for all you trainers and world contenders and blah blah blah, what have you, where have you, if you don't know your opponent, learn him. If he's a southpaw and you don't know how to fight a southpaw, tell you what, call me and ask me, I'll tell you. It's not that hard. It's really not. What's embarrassing is that you're at that level making millions and millions of dollars and you don't know how to train for a southpaw. That's ridiculous.
It was disappointing.
I tell you what, I train fighters right now. I'm nothing, no one big, I just do it, and I do it for fun, pretty much. I train a little girl. She just turned 8 years old. It's her first fight with me. She went out last weekend and won the Olympics. Hello? Because she knows what to do. Hey, watch. I got a little girl, size 7, boom, looking. I got a little girl doing all kinds of stuff.
So, but if you took Garcia and changed his whole fundamentals when you knew Tank was a southpaw?
Doesn't really have to change a whole lot of fundamentals. You just got to know what to do. And it's just a couple of easy things. And it puts Tank Davis right, guess what? Right there in front of your power right hand.
Okay, so another thing I want to touch on. Before the fight, right? This is my opinion. This is what Tank Davis said when he was interviewed before the fight. I believe it wasn't Joe Rogan, it was somebody else interviewed him. And he insinuated that he had a spy in Garcia's camp and that he knew he got hurt by a body punch. And then so happens he knocked him out with a body punch. Does fighters send spies in the camps nowadays or back when you fought?
They do.
But to me, I'm sure they both have spies in each other's camps. But by Tank Davis saying, "Oh, this is his exact words," I know he got hurt by a body punch in his camp, and he said it twice. He said, "I ain't gonna tell you how," and then he knocked him out with a body punch. So I don't know if that's where he got hurt on his right side by his liver, but that's where. And to me, I mean, if I would have known that information, I would have never gave it up before the fight. Like, I know you got hurt in camp 2 weeks ago, a body punch. I would have never gave up. And I don't think I would have gave it up even after the fight, especially if I would have knocked him out with a body punch. Because to me, I know boxing is a strategic sport, and it's 2 men in the ring. That's it. Trainers are gone, managers are gone. It's you and him who got the best heart, who got the best fundamentals, and who wants it the most, right? So to me, it was kind of like cheating, Tone. Like, man, he exposed it. I know you got hurt with a body punch in your camp. And it was like, damn, if he wouldn't have got knocked out by that body punch, I wouldn't have really gave it much thought. Or if he would have lost, I wouldn't give it much thought. But after he knocked him out with the body punch, it came back to me, and I went back and seen the video where he was interviewed and said it. And I was like, man, was you guys doing that back in the days?
No, I never say anybody's camp. You know why?
Did any of your trainers or managers? Probably not.
No.
Because you studied them on film, and you do.
Watch, my first Lockridge fight with Rocky Lockridge back in '88. I've seen him fight a few times. He's already a 2-time world champion. He's not going to change for me.
Yeah.
He's not going to change for anybody because he's bad the way he is.
He was.
So I watched him, and I seen what I need to do. But guess what? His style and my style was the same thing. So all I had to do was train. For me, I never really trained. When a fighter steps up, okay, Let me take that back. Let me erase that. When I step into the ring, you're in my world. You could probably whoop my butt out in the street, and down the corner, down the block, at the store. I don't care. But in the ring, you ain't whooping. I know. I'm gonna serve you, and I'm gonna serve you hard. I don't care if you're 6'5", 225. I don't care, because I'm gonna hurt you. In the ring, I got you, because that's what I do. In a street fight, I'll bite you. but you know, and that's really what it is. So, you know, an easy man to beat is a madman. I'm never mad. When I've been in street fights, even during my title days, some drunk fool comes up, you know, and guess what? I'm never mad. I do what I'm trained to do. I don't get mad. Even in street fights, I don't get mad. I don't if when I drop you, because you are going to get dropped. When I drop you, I don't jump on you, bang on you some more, because you know why?
You let him up?
Yeah, I don't do that.
You let him up?
Oh yeah, let him up. You know why? Because the fight's over. Watch this. Let me give you a little bit of help in the criminal aspect of fighting in the streets. Because you see all these things on YouTube, all these people pulling people's hair, and the two people jumping on one person, and blah, 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 blah. Guess what? What you're doing in the state of California is a felony crime. Because in the state of California, you know, you can't do that. Once the threat is done, it's over, it's done, stop. You have to, once you drop somebody, or they hit you, turn their back, you cannot jump on them. You can't do it. It's against the law. You know, so you have to, I was a Belmont's company for the last 24 years, so I learned a lot about, you know, how the law works in the state of California. It works the same for everybody. You just gotta know the law.
I was on the other side of it. And I used to get pointers on how to run from the law from somebody. Back in the day when his father was alive and his father hooked me up with their lawyer. So I had pointers, but I just never I couldn't be away from my family. I ran, but I didn't run. I could have went to Mexico, Canada, but I just couldn't be away from my son and my wife and my mom. So it was like, why am I getting all this information when I know I'm not going to leave for that long? If I do, I'm coming right back and turn myself in. But I knew how. We are taking live callers if you guys want to call in. If you guys got any kind of questions for me or Tony, call in. We appreciate these subscribers, man. We're trying to get monetized right now. I think we can get monetized by the end of May or June, and that's pushing it. But I believe Tony's fans will subscribe to this channel. We ain't worried about the hours being watched. We're worried about the subscribers. So if you got friends, if you got anybody around here in this area or beyond, hit that subscribe button, man. Man, that Tank Davis fight, man. It's
you know, like I made notes.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah, I was watching it. I'm going. My first note, the first round. Here's the rounds. The first notes, first round. I come out. Garcia doesn't know how to fight a southpaw.
That's embarrassing.
That's the first thing I wrote.
I see that.
Because when the bell rang, guess what? His foot was on the inside, not the outside.
And I didn't know that until a week ago when I asked him about fighting the southpaw, and he stood here and showed me where the foot should be. I don't know what just happened. Did something just happen over there? Okay. So when I watched the fight, that's the first thing I noticed. Why is his foot on the inside of Tank Davis's? And before I could even flinch, he dropped him with that straight right. I think it was an overhand left, matter of fact. Short left, and he dropped him, and I'm like, his foot was supposed to be over here, and it wasn't. What's your next note? Round two?
Round two, Tank Davis got a little bit excited and doesn't want to stock him in very okay, yeah. Garcia through a combination, just Tank Davis got a little bit excited. He kind of hurt Garcia, and he got a little bit too excited. They were fighting inside, they were swinging too hard. Anytime you're in a fight, once you start doing that, and that's shocking. Well, it's surprising to me, not shocking, surprising to me that a guy at that level, like Tank Davis, at that level, would get that excited and want, because you can see his face on that he wanted to knock him out so bad. He goes, whoa, whoa. I mean, dude.
I didn't see that part, Tone. What I seen in the second round, I seen Garcia come out like he was frustrated and he got impatient. He like rushed Tank 3 or 4 times before he got dropped, and then after he got dropped, he like was very he was shied away. There was a call. Yeah. Is that a call coming in? Oh. So I seen before he got dropped, I thought Garcia was very excited and he got anxious, man. I think that's why he got dropped. Maybe his experience wasn't.
Watch this. Tank Davis did the same.
After he dropped him?
When he got back up, Tank Davis was trying to finish him. And how you finish somebody in boxing, man, to be real, is you calmly got, and it's hard to do because everybody gets to look at it. Your adrenaline's rushing, and you know, but you get in it and you work. You know, it's a job. It's what you do. You know, it's what you train for. So, you know, even sometimes, you know, when you drop somebody, I'm like, okay, let's go back to work. Because what? You might drop me, doesn't mean I'm hurt. You know, I might get back up and whoop your butt if you think you're hurt. If you think you hurt me, you might get
and then you get caught.
Yeah,
that's when you get
and that's
caught.
what happens, you know. So, and I seem to do that. The second round, no big deal. Oh yeah, Goose is Garcia's trainer, which this shocks me because Goose is a very good trainer. I've always thought he was a great trainer. I fought up with his guys, or he's had a million guys that I've seen fight. He always had great champions. He's always had great champions. But you know, why he didn't tell Garcia to cut the ring off instead of following him? Because
he chased him.
Yeah, you don't chase fighters. You cut the ring off and you go to war. You know, maybe he didn't want to go to war. I don't know. You know, why would you? Watch this. It's just all this stuff that I wrote down. No matter what I wrote it down. What I'm telling you is, I mean, you can figure it out for yourself. What this is, after watching the fight and knowing what happened, I'm reading my notes and I'm going, this just tells me that Garcia wasn't ready for that fight. He didn't have the experience behind him to fight someone like a tank. He didn't.
What do you think about the rehydration clause? Did you know about that?
I heard about that too. And you know what?
Did you ever have one of those?
No.
Is that some bullshit?
No, watch.
They had to be 135.
Okay,
and then you can only gain 10 more pounds after rehydrating.
Watch this. I walked around at 160. When I fought, I weighed in at 130.
Ooh.
Overnight, I gained 59 3/4 pounds. I'm sorry, 39 3/4 pounds. 29 3/4 pounds. I'm sorry. Because I walk in the ring at 159 3/4 every single time. Every time I left my house, 159 3/4.
So how did they keep it down 10 pounds after they rehydrated? It had to have been a struggle for Garcia because Tank is a smaller guy.
Yeah, you know, and that's surprising to me. Because watch this. Tank was the man. Well, you know, if you think you're the man, why would you put a clause in? Okay, watch. I don't care. When I fought Travis in Mexico, I'm telling you right now, he never made the weight. He never made the weight. He never made the weight. And you know what they did? They had the fight in. They didn't care. We're in Mexico. They don't care.
They don't care.
Watch this. And guess what? Neither did I. He could have weighed 200. That night, I was ready for him. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't
so you
matter.
guys had to weigh in and he weighed over?
He never made a weight, yeah. You know, it was the whole thing was comical. It was crazy. But watch, he never made a weight. But you don't see me crying about it. I don't care. No,
and you never even brought it up until right now. No one even knows that. Chavez, can we get that rematch?
Anytime. We can do a sparring session.
In California.
Yeah, sure. Been there, done that.
So Tony, we're gonna I think we're gonna cut this short. We're gonna do an episode 2, man, because this fight kind of bothers me, man. It's like I'm not even looking forward to any more fights coming. They're talking about does he want to fight Haney or that other cat? And I'm like, do I want to see another Tank Davis fight? I mean, I could go without it, but he's kind of explosive. But to me, it's like he's already at the top of his game. I don't think no one can beat him right now. He's 28 years old. I think maybe in a couple of years there'll be someone to come up and beat him. But right now, I don't think so. I think his weight. I thought you fought at 135, but you fought at 130. Huh?
130, 135.
So junior lightweight, they're lightweights, right?
No, yeah, they're lightweight. I was starting with junior lightweight, junior 145.
Oh, you was a junior. What? That's what Sal was, junior.
Yeah.
146, right?
140.
140.
I was a better 145 than I was ever at 130.
Really? You look way skinny at one. You kept it down. Like when I seen you at the wherever we see each other out in the streets, he was big, and then I seen him in the ring. I'm like, man, what's Tony on? But I didn't know all the stuff that went along with it until later on. Right? But we appreciate this. We're coming back with an episode 2. Stay with us. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, so we can talk about a little bit of this
And a little bit of that.
Stay tuned.
See you.
Bam.